All right. So, hello everyone, a very warm good evening, and I would like to welcome everyone, each and everyone present here on Zoom with us, and those who are watching us live to the Global Early Childhood Education Conclave 2021. That's the second edition organized by ECDF, Early Child Development Forum. And the theme for the 2 days of the conclave is towards holistic and multidisciplinary early childhood education. Isn't that a great theme? And we have a stellar lineup of speakers and panel discussions, which are going to benefit all the educators and the parents equally. So we try to bring in all the stakeholders together. So for the curtain raiser of the event, I would welcome Dr. Vasvi Acharya, who's the founder chairperson, ECDF and DNAF, Child Development and Education Research Center, CDERC, and head of Tender Petals chain of preschools. Dr. Vasvi Acharya is going to talk to us about the vision and mission of ECDF. Over to you, Dr. Vasvi Acharya.
Thank you, Smriti, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you here for this conclave that we have themed towards holistic and multidisciplinary early childhood education. And I think I'll play a short video about what we do in ECDF. So allow me to share the screen.
This is Simran Balani, and I am talking to you from Bangalore. I'm the zonal head for Bangalore chapter. And every single program, every single event, every single cause that we are doing with ECDF, it gives us immense joy and pleasure to contribute to the cause. I will share my screen and talk a little bit about what we have been doing and why we are so ever excited about what we do. So one of the very, very proud project that we are doing is our Nav-Uday project, and which is supporting children from the disadvantaged sections. And this basically is, again, a labor of love. It just doesn't happen right away when we are like just imagining things. It is months and months and months of planning behind this. And we make sure that everything is in place before we go to the venue. We make sure that everything is right. And there is a lot of background work to this. And this project was done in the last year. And there are many more segments coming about for this project. So we will talk about a little bit about the teacher training programs that we do. Now, we believe in empowering educators and facilitators with new innovations, creativity. Our training programs are class apart from dedicated and experienced trainers who take equal joy and pride to come to our forum, deliver these programs, talk about the innovations and research, and helps the participants make sure that they implement in their life sessions with wherever they are working with these small children. And the feedbacks that we get from our participants is so overwhelming, and that encourages us to do a bit more each time. Now let's talk about our conferences, which are creating a lot of buzz around the globe. Our early year global conference and other events are also planned with latest development in ECE that we should bring into focus from time to time. From 100 odd speakers and going strong, this is one of the greatest achievements we had, because these people wanted to come and contribute their time and their research, their innovation, or their bit of practical advices that they wanted to share in the new normal with the other participants or other fellow educators or budding students in this arena. And again, we were the first ones to launch Young Voices. It was so good to hear from these young children what they feel about the new normals and what are the different trends that they have experienced in last year or so, and what are their dreams and visions to make this world a better place. And again, here is the feedback. And this is, we couldn't have covered all the feedbacks that we've got because it is just so much. I have to say how much pride we take into this, because this is our testament. This is our testimony to the work that we are doing. And it is going out there. It is reaching people and making a difference. Parenting. So we are trying to cover this 360-degree here. We are talking about the young voices. We're talking about the industry experts. We're talking about making the difference on ground, going back and giving to the society. But we're not leaving parents out here, because parents are partners when we talk about early childhood education. And we're doing so many programs which are making sure that the parents that we reach out to are doing good work in their parenting, because that is also one sort of lovable job, of course. So we are trying to make sure that we are getting there from all the corners that is possible: teacher, educators, industry experts, and parents, and going and giving back to the society. That is what inspires ECDF members every day to do something different. And of course, now let's talk about the awards. Award is a mark of appreciation for all those who have worked dedicatedly in this domain for the years. But for me, especially for the last 1.5, 2 years, given this pandemic, whatever we are doing, these awards created a lot of excitement, a lot of encouragement, and a lot of motivation for educators to keep doing their bit, keep innovating, and keep sharing those ideas which will help the ECE world at a greater extent. This is one more of our awards.
This is what we have been doing in ECDF. I think we have covered all the areas that we work upon. And now over to you, Smriti.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Vasavi. And I'm the proud person who has received the Pinnacle Awards, and I have been associated with EdClan as an associate editor, so I can vouch for it that the work that ECDF has been doing is something which is marvelous in the field of ECCE. Now, time to introduce myself because I forgot to do that. I was so excited to start the conclave. I'm Smriti Agarwal, and I have been an early childhood educator since 1995. I have been an author, a writer, a parenting mentor, or teacher trainer, and starting off as a teacher myself. And I've been in a leadership role in most of the best schools in India, and associated with organizations for making a difference. I love to learn, and I'm an autodidact who loves to keep reinventing myself and keep sharing knowledge so that we keep reinventing the practices as per time in the ECDF. All right, so here we had some more enthusiastic people unmuting themselves. Time to dive in. So are you all ready? So first and foremost, the first session that we have is for our keynote speaker. And our keynote speaker is none other than a person with whom the terms like genius, legend, and institution are attached to. He is the chairperson of the Indian Fine Art Council, IFAC, and extensively promotes artists from all fields. He is the first Indian to be certified the ballroom dance by the Dance Training School, Bonn, Germany, and has been honored with the National Achievement Award and 3 National Excellence Award by the Government of India. He's also the recipient of the prestigious Shakti Samman in the form of a sword by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He's the only one who's received a personal letter of appreciation from Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles for promoting ballroom and Latin dance culture in India. He was chosen by Madonna to be the Indian face and the brand ambassador to a prominent American NGO, the Miracle Foundation, from 2008 to 2009. And he was selected as the India face of PETA, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, for 2009 and 10. Currently, Sandip has been nominated ambassador for India by CSA, that is Catalyst for Social Action, the organization that promotes adoptions in India. So here we have with us Mr. Sandip Soppakar, who has also have a postage stamp issued by the Bhutan government, and for his worldwide initiative, Dance for a Cause. He's a philanthropist, he's a performer, and today he's amongst us having a very great illustrious record of Bollywood, choreography, teaching, and performances. Mr. Sandip Soppakar will be talking to us on the importance of creative arts in early childhood education. Over to you, Mr. Soppakar.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Smriti. And I want to thank ECDF for having me here to talk with all of you. I really don't know if I'm the right one to be speaking here because all of you are so much into education and especially early childhood education, which is very, very important for all our children. You know that very well. I'm sure you'll have a lot more in-depth knowledge of it. What I would like to speak about is with my personal experiences about how art helped me. And I have seen art help other children who are a part of my school, and I've been teaching in so many schools as well. So when I see them develop so beautifully through those experiences, I would like to share a few of my thoughts. You know, when a baby of an animal is born, when it drops down, it finds its own way. It gets up, finds its own milk. The amount of care required is much lesser than amount of care required for our children as human children. They require a lot more care. And how do we teach them? Today, we give them phones. We give them iPads. And we ask them to watch whatever we feel is good for them to watch. Why? Because we have to feed them. It's better to have a phone in front of them. They'll have a game and it'll be easier to, take the life forward. But that's not the right way. Teach. If you remember yourself learning from your parents, how was it? There was no phone that time. It was through art, through storytelling, through games, through sports. All this comes under art. I will not say it's just dance. Music, singing, painting, poetry, storytelling, sports, all of it comes under art. That's the generic field that I'm talking about. It was through that we all learned. But today, our child is not getting that attention which is required from us. It is our mistake somewhere. It's not theirs for sure. It is definitely our mistake. We don't have that kind of time for our children. Nuclear families. So parents are working. What happens when we come back? We bring gifts for them. Balloons, chocolates, toys, because we feel guilty that we both have been spending a lot of time outside and not spending time with our child. But that's the wrong gift to bring. Bring the gift of love. Bring the gift of time. Bring the gift of art into your child's life. Because then you will realize that how, it's a very beautiful saying. It says, गुब्बारे फूट जाते हैं, खिलौने टूट जाते हैं, लेकिन कला कभी छूटती नहीं. Those of you who don't understand Hindi when I'm speaking here, balloons can burst, toys can break, but art form will never leave your side. So that's the beauty of art. It will always remain with you. There's a very beautiful Sanskrit shloka that says, Na chaur haryam, na cha raj haryam, na bhatra bhajyam, na cha bharakari, vaye krite vardhate ev nityam, kala vidyadhanam sarvadhan pradhanam. It means, चोर चोरी नहीं कर सकता, thief cannot steal it from you. राजा उसका विभाजन नहीं कर सकता, a king cannot divide amongst people. भाइयों में उसका विभाजन नहीं हो सकता. Brothers can't property disputes take it away. बांटने से बढ़ता है. The more you distribute it, the more it increases. कला विद्याधनम सर्वधन प्रधानम. Art is the best education ever you can give to a child. That's the biggest wealth. So that wealth is what we need to give to our child. That's the gift. Because that gift will last a lifetime. When our child is small, that is what we need to offer to our child. And once the child starts going to school, the early education that we are talking about, we must understand, we as parents, I'm a parent, we must understand we are the first teachers. And we are the teachers who will teach, especially in Indian families, we are teaching them all their lives. Unlike some other countries where sometimes the child is very independent. In our country, the child is independent, but somewhere the umbilical cord is still kept intact. We are always attached to our children and we're always advising them somewhere or the other in life. But if you give them this gift, they will thank you for the entire lifetime. I can say that because I have got this gift from my parents, from my grandparents. I till today thank them for the gift that they gave me, the gift of dance. When we are choosing school for our children, have you ever thought what we think about? Does the school have an AC? Does it allow mobile phones? Because how will we be in touch with our children, yeah? Does it, does it give iPads from class 1, class 5? Does it have laptops? No? Then we should not send a child there. That's our priority now. It should not be. Did you study in a air-conditioned school? I did not. I don't know about others. I did not study in an AC school. I'm sure many of us did not. That should not be the priority. I understand it can be on one of your lists. It's fine. But it should not be the priority. What should be important is how much importance does that school give to your child's overall development through music, through art, through sport. Of course, education is important. I'm not saying don't send your child to study, But what is the overall development? Like I think in the language of educationists, they say the hemispheric development of the brain, the right brain and the left brain. To me, it is dance. If you dance, if you have any kind of art form, it helps you to develop both the sides of your brains. That is why sometimes it's told to children that please play some sport, please play a guitar, please dance a little bit, and then go and do your maths. Then go and do your things because you will understand it better. It's because the brain cells are activated because of the art that you are practicing for those 10 minutes or for that half an hour. That is the beauty an art form carries, which somewhere we tend to overlook it. We feel it's a disturbance. I've had parents come and tell me in my dance class, sir, exams are starting, the child will take a break for 2 months. Or some of them say, especially the older ones, oh, they're in board exams, they'll take a break for 1 year. I haven't taken a break till date. I did all my education. We forget that kala jo hai, wo todti nahi, kala jodti hai. Art form doesn't break, it bonds. Today we are sitting in front of our computers. What we have done, we have shut our doors and windows because we have to have clear communication, right? We have closed ourselves. But if I was to practice art form, I open my doors and windows. And here when I say doors and windows, I mean my heart, my mind, my body, my soul. When a child is playing a sport, the child is outside on the field, dancing, music, singing, painting, you have audiences for you, you have people with you. That's called opening your mind, opening your body, opening your soul. That is the right school for your child, which pays importance to that kind of a development of a child, because that's a holistic development through the form of art. There's a very beautiful lines from this very famous German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, 18th century philosopher, controversial one, who even went on to say God is dead, and the second biggest mistake God made was making a woman, many kind of things he had said. But he said a very beautiful thing about art. He said, a life without art is a mistake. A day without art is a day lost. 18th century. We today are supposed to be more developed in many ways, but do we think that way? Or do we still feel that art is disturbance for our child? Because if you feel that way, please think back, because that is not true at all. There are 5 things for art, 5 E's of art. It starts with entertainment. That is why you realize small children, we make faces and we tell stories and we are very animated with them, because that's entertainment for them. Then through that is education. So art is entertainment first, then it comes to education. And after that, what happens? It evokes, it empowers, and finally, it enlightens you. That's the progress of art in our lives. The earlier you begin, the more advantages you will see of the art form. Remember that art will not change your child. It only untames, unravels, unleashes, and finally unveils who your real child potentials are. So if you embrace, I'm a dancer, so of course I will vouch for dance, but at the same time, I would say that any kind of art form, let it be a part of your child's life, because you will see your child blossom like a flower, not those flowers which are kept, not those plastic flowers, but a flower that has a beautiful smell, a flower that has a beautiful outlook towards life. And that will only happen if you embrace art form. I hope I have made sense. I don't know what, if some of you understood. It was a little philosophical part of dance and art, but I think that's what art is supposed to be, a little more philosophical about things. It connects you with the divine in so many different ways. We only realize it later in life. But the earlier you start it, the easier it will be for your child to reach up to that divine power that will make your child a strong individual. So please gift your child strength through art, because only then your child will be able to understand the world that they are living in.
Absolutely, Mr. Sandip. Thank you so much. Let's get our hands together for Mr. Sandip.
Thank you.
Perfectly said. Of course, art is something that actually connects the left brain and the right brain, gives you the whole brain approach. It connects you to the divine powers. You understand how and what it is to be a human being with so much of potential. And now we'll thank Mr. Sandip for his gracious presence here. And we are really honored to have you, sir. Thank you so much.